Aloha, this is Hope Johnson coming to you from my lanai on the beautiful big island of Hawaii on a lovely rainy day. And today I'm going to talk to you and demonstrate to you a little bit of block therapy. I've been talking about this lately, about the deep releases I get through doing this. And it's a beautiful practice. I hope you enjoy. I'm going to walk you through a little bit of it now. See how this works. See if we can get you a good view. This is what the block looks like. And I'll put a link in the, what is it? In the comments or the title, whatever that place is where you put links, I'll put a link so you can get your own and also get all kinds of programs for doing stuff with this. Now, the very first thing that we do is called the belly position. It's known as the belly position. So I'm going to take this block and I'm going to put it straight up and down like this. Now, the reason I put it straight up and down like this, because it fits me. If I go like this, it gets right on my hip bones. At some point, I might be ready for that. I don't know. But right now, I'm doing it like this. And then I'm just going to get on it. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my belly button. When we start out, you want to breathe so that the belly inflates. So it's kind of like you're pushing up toward the ceiling with your lower back. Probably see that in the video. Yeah. The breath is really long and slow and relaxed. And it's good to keep the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Make sure you're breathing through your nose if you can. If you can't, then you can't. It is what it is. You want to feel a certain amount of sensation, enough sensation so that it's interesting. And also be able to breathe nice and deep and lightly to the point where you actually don't even hear yourself breathing. And the most important part, you guys, is getting all the breath out. So after we do the one where we're making sure we're raising it up, like the breath. Okay, after we do that, a lot for about a minute and a half, then we start to focus on the exhale. So we let the block really sink and get it really like squeeze everything out on the exhale, like make it really small, like make your belly really small. It's a interesting action because you're pulling. You probably see my pelvis is rolling down a little bit when I do that. And I gotta tell you guys, this position, it's number one position in block therapy. Like you start every practice like this. And it is because there's like 72,000 connector points there, like everything. So it kind of relaxes. It's like a nervous system relaxation all throughout the whole body. Now for me, when I'm not talking to you guys and I'm just doing this, I'm super quiet and I only pay attention to my breath, my tongue, and also that squeeze in at the bottom and the squeeze at the root, which is also known as the butthole. You squeeze that. So I can come way down like this. And if you feel good like that, you can do that too. Just come way down like this. And keep breathing. And it's really normal to feel like there's pain in there or pressure and a pulse, a pulsing sensation. And then when you feel like you've done enough, come back up. I like to get a little, they don't teach this in block therapy, but I like to get a little counter stuff going just for a second, you know, not to make anything like into a full on yoga class, but I do love yoga. So let's do some pelvis stuff. I really enjoy pelvis stuff. I enjoy all block therapy, but let's do some pelvis stuff. So let's get this block right under the hip flexor right here. Stick it right under there. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you right here. It's right here. So if you feel to your hip, you got a bone right here. Okay, you got a bone sticking out right there. So it's under that. It's kind of like this tie-in right here where you're going like this. See, it's crease. I'm gonna put it right in there. See, you don't have to be in shape or anything to do this. Like you're just laying on blocks, okay? It's pretty mellow. And you can be on a soft floor like I am. I'm on a soft floor. Or you can do this like on a mattress. You can be really gentle with yourself. So what I like to do here is take the other leg and stick it out to the side like that. And then get down on this one. And then just sit there like this and kind of like press it into that hip flexor. And at first it's kind of hard. Like I don't feel a bunch of pain, almost like I'm just sitting on top of this thing, right? But then after about a minute or so, it starts to sink in. And there's some little things that I like to do to help it sink in. I just felt it sink right there. And that's just like moving my leg back and forth a little bit. See that? And that's just a little, I give it a little toggle or I give it a little like that. And then once I get in and I feel some, you know, reasonable pain. Pain is a funny word because it's really more like sensation. And you don't want to give yourself ever so much pain. You can't have beautiful, nourishing, long, deep breath, okay? You don't want to have that. So I'm giving that some nice deep breaths. Whenever I find a place of pain, I just stay there for at least 3 breaths, unless the pain dissipates before 3 breaths. Then I might make another micro movement. Oh yeah, now I got something good. I just turned my foot out a little bit. You see what I mean? I'm just doing like some creative little micro movements to get myself in there, to get that block in there so I could feel what's going on in there. And as I'm doing that, I'm breathing. Well, right now I'm talking to you, so I'm not breathing like I normally would, but I'm breathing with my tongue at the roof of my mouth, through my nose. And in the same way, I want to make sure I squeeze on the out breath, all the breath out. I want to get it all out because that's what's going to help me bring everything that's being released out. Okay. And, you know, this is all symbolic. Nothing's really happening. It's all symbolic. Okay. And it really depends on your awareness. So you being aware of the sensations, your mind wandering. When your mind wanders, you just like gently bring it back. If your mind says, God, I suck at this, that's just your mind wandering. You could just bring it back. You don't have to like get into that. So see what I'm doing right here? I'm kind of like moving over to the side now. Just a little bit though. You know, I just like rolled a tiny bit until I felt something else there. And then I just like go into it. And it's like, oh,
I'm telling you guys, if you're not on the block with me right now, I recommend you take that, get on that link and get your block and get on some of their programs. I'm just showing you this right now. I don't know how much of this stuff I'm going to do. Who knows? I might do a lot. But I'm just showing this to you right now because it's so amazing, you guys. Look, when you get older, you don't really get older, but you know, you have an illusion of it. Apparently, your ass tissue ends up going into your pelvis and it makes your ass flat. Okay. And this is what we're working on right now. So this area right here where the hip flexors are, gets a lot of ass tissue that migrated over to it and got all hard. And that's what we're on right now. We're on that. And so, you know, like right here, I can even feel where it's kind of connected to the joint and just sticking there. And anywhere that you feel pain, that's exactly where you need to be. If there's pain, that means that there's some adhesions there, and those adhesions are basically dense tissue that migrated away from its natural alignment and needs like some encouragement to go back. You know, it's like we need this. It's amazing. It's just amazing how much we hold in there. Okay, let's exhale to go up. Okay, you exhale up. Let's get the other side. So this time I'll just stay on this side. That way we can get a different angle of how that is. So again, it's the other side. We're going right under that bone where it gets a little bit, you know, it's not really that meaty for some people because it's hard. It's hard. It ends up being hard. And, you know, people think that's a muscle, but it's not. It's fascia. It's we want to soften it up, actually. We want to soften that stuff up. We want to soften everything that's hard. We want to soften it up because, you know, the body isn't even really solid. And we're just making it that way. I'll come down this way so you guys can see my face too, in case I want to talk to you some more. So I'm just going to get down there. And, you know, I do different things. Like you can see my back leg is up right now. I might put it down. It really depends on how I'm feeling and getting. So this is a really, you know, you might say it's intuitive, if that's the word, what would you like? But you are paying attention to your own feedback as far as pain and stuff like that. How much sensation you want. And, you know, some days you could be like, you know what, I'm just going to sit here and chill out. And that's fine. Yeah, of course, whatever it is great. But you're kind of searching for something that feels like it's releasing, almost like massage style. Like right now when I'm on this one, I feel energy going down my legs and or down the leg that it's on. The other leg isn't feeling anything like that. And through the toes, like there's energy just, it is amazing. And you know, what that's a symbol of is straightening out, basically coming back into alignment, And, you know, alignment is beauty, alignment is flow, alignment is your natural way of being. So you never have to beat your body in any kind of shape. I mean, you guys, the kind of yoga I do is yin yoga. This is the opposite of beating your body in any kind of shape. You never have to push yourself. This is a relaxing. We're relaxing ourselves. It's the opposite of trying to stress anything out. So remember, breath. This needs to be reminded a lot. I know how it is. Breath. That exhale especially. You know why? Because the inhale just comes immediately, right? And once you get all the breath out, you get an inhale breath down to the deepest recesses of your breathing contraption. Okay. And when you allow yourself to get that deep breath, which comes after the exhale, remember, after the exhale. So that's the thing to focus on, that exhale. You're really squeezing that belly up at the end, right? Like squeeze it up at the end. Watch, I'll stop talking and do it so you can actually see my belly squeeze up to the end, okay? There's my inhale. Okay, I'm gonna inhale. And then now I'm just gonna turn a little bit over to this side. Just a little bit. I just want to kind of slide over there and see if there's anything painful over there. And I think when you do it, you'll find something. And you know, adjust as necessary. I just realized I was a little bit low and I came up a little bit. It was like, woo, there it is. Okay. Tongue with the roof of the mouth. Beautiful, luxurious, deep, slow inhales and exhaling everything. Oh, that's the best. Pull your pelvis up a little bit because that, or I'm sorry, pull your, it's not so much pulling your pelvis up as it is squeezing the anus. Okay, squeezing the anus. So it's like, you see the action. Maybe you can see the action a little bit in my hips. I think you can. It complements it with that exhale when you squeeze the anus a little bit. It also naturally makes this little tiny massaging motion, which you don't want to move a whole bunch on the block. So a tiny massaging motion is perfect. Let's just stay here a little bit more. I like that feeling when it feels like it's kind of grabbing. It feels like, and that's why I like that wood blocks. It feels like it grabs that fascia and kind of like moves it. Like I can pull my body just a little bit. Like I'm not actually moving, but I'm kind of, I'm sliding a little tiny bit, but I'm pulling myself towards you guys. So I'm pulling myself towards the leg that's bent. Okay. And then I could feel the fascia that's on the front of the hip pulling over to the right side. So I'm feeling that pull behind me. And that's kind of like shearing it off that bone. Because ultimately, I want to be able to put the block over here and just like get all the way to the bone. Not because there's no tissue there on top of the bone, but because the tissue around it is nice and soft and juicy and pliable. And you can just go all the way to the bone with the block. You know. And that doesn't mean you can't have muscles. Muscles aren't normally hard unless you're flexing them. They should be soft enough that you can go right through them. Okay, only be hard when you're flexing them. So let's get off of this position now. And let's go to the front of the pelvis. So this is just right in the front, right here. Okay, it's a weird feeling. I will tell you that right now. It's a very strange feeling, but it's really important. And the thing is, these adhesions on the front here are painful. Oh my goodness. But you know, it doesn't just make your genitals look kind of flabby, I guess it is. I don't know. People develop this thing like kind of like a pocket on the genitals where it looks like on the front of it. And not actually the genitals, I guess. I guess that's really the front of the pelvis, the pubic bone. That's the name of it. Right on the pubic bone, you know, there's like this fatty thing that seems to be there, but it's not really fat. It's actually not fat. It's these adhesions and it's actually ass tissue. It needs to go back to the ass. Okay. That's what we want to do. Let's get it back to the ass. Yeah, nice spaciousness in the pelvis. That's what we're looking for. So be gentle with yourself. Definitely let your breath tell you whenever you're going too far. You can probably see me. I've been doing the pelvis, this front of the pelvis position quite a bit, so I can get on it a little bit. These adhesions, they end up going away. Like this, like if you're doing it right now and you feel frustrated or something, these adhesions, they soften up over time. So if that feels too hard for you, just stay there real easily. Don't make yourself push yourself. That's the probably the way you've been trained to kind of push yourself. You don't have to push yourself at all. In fact, you're going to go further faster the more you're able to relax, take it easy, okay? Remember the breath. And if you can, this is a little bit painful for people, but if you can, squeeze the anus here. When you do that, that makes it go really deep. And you know, you squeeze the anus on the exhale, like towards the end of the exhale, to accentuate that. This is just a heavenly feeling as far as I'm concerned. I think you will agree. Maybe not at first, but at some point, you will. I love to just put a little bit more pressure up to the point where it's really interesting. Just until it's really interesting. Not where I'm thinking, oh, this is too much. I hope it's over soon. When is this over? Not to that point, to the point where it's interesting. And I can use my hips here and press down as much as I want. I have more to go, like I could still press down more. You want to do your best to, whenever you inhale, and this takes a little while to get, whenever you inhale, to inflate the belly. You know, so that's the first thing that inflates. Like try to let it get big. If you practice this a bunch, like I do, or not just these particular exercises, this is done all over your whole body, including face. There's even some for inside the mouth that I do with my hands. I might be showing to you soon. So, oh, hi. I'm doing a video right now. So, moving it according to, no, it's not. what did I- Okay, and when you're ready, get up.
And now we're gonna do the bottom of the booty. We're gonna work on lifting the booty from right here. Okay, so now we're gonna take care of that part. I paused it for a second, so I forgot where I was. Right there, where the butt and the hamstring come together. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stick this block like so on its side, and I'm gonna come on top of it, and I'm just gonna set it right there in that spot. It's gonna set it there and sit right on it. See that? Now, if this is difficult for you to do, maybe your knee or whatever, you see how my knee's just bent right here and I'm just chilling right here like this. And if this is difficult for you to do, there's different ways to do it. You can lean back like this and you could put the other leg out like this, okay? That'll be fine. Remember the breath, that's really important. Yeah, I can still feel this right here. So feel that. But I like to come up like this. That might be a more advanced move for people, I'm not sure. But see how I just have my legs straight like that. You can even, like, that's too much to have your legs straight. You can bend it. However it is, you want to get the block to go into this area right where the top of the leg hits the bottom of the butt. You know, my stepmom used to always say, I got pretty nice legs until they go up and make an ass of themselves. And this is kind of like why they go up and make an ass of themselves, like in the way she's saying, is that there's adhesions right there. And it's kind of like melding the ass into the leg. So there's no distinction anymore between the ass and the leg. We want to make that distinction apparent. Not just because it looks good to have, you know, a nice roundness and, you know, a definite line between the legs and the leg and the butt, and then also nice roundness, but also because it's the right feeling, it's the comfortable feeling for you. When it's glued like that, it's stopping blood and oxygen from getting down the whole leg. Okay, and that gluiness also causes things to go out of alignment with bones and everything. So you kind of can probably see what I'm doing right here. I've rolled the block back just a little bit, and now I've got it on the edge and I'm sinking that edge in there. I'm really getting in there right now, you guys. That feels so good. It's amazing. There's 3 hamstrings back here and they get all glued in there too. And I could feel the hamstrings now kind of separating. They get glued together to each other. They get glued to other stuff. I could feel them separating. It feels really good. I've also done this quite a bit. So the first time I did it, it was pretty painful. I was not down this far. I had to be more like, I'm not sure exactly how I was. I might have been back here like this just to get used to it. So, you know, if you can, what I like to do in this position too is just, you know, with as flat a back as possible. You don't have to be all anal about it, but just kind of like lean forward over your leg and get a little bit of a stretch. And the interesting thing about this is that this stretches, I guess it doesn't stretch the hamstrings, it just releases the tension in the hamstring. And then you're more flexible after this. It's really interesting. So focus on getting that exhale breath. Ah. And when you've had enough, I recommend pausing and stuff so you can stay longer if you want. When you've had enough, exhale off. I just slide right off like that, no big deal. Now let's do the other side. Now you can see from this side how I'm doing with my leg. Now I'm getting right on top of that. And you know, this area too, one way to see where it is, it's in front of the sit bone. So it's not on the sit bone, it's in front of it. You should feel a bone right beside the back of that block. And also the placing isn't that important. If you feel something, if you feel some pain there, then you gently breathe into it until it releases. It's that sustained pressure over time that allows it to release. And you know, also coupled with the breath. You will get releases if you don't use any focused breath at all. So if you feel like that's too much, I don't want to have to focus on my breath too, and you just want to sit here, that's okay. And then you'll go a lot deeper once you get focused on the breath. So plus, you'll see the meditative aspect of it. It's amazing. Bringing awareness to what's been frozen. It's like a fearful, frozen kind of energy, all this pain that we're touching upon. And we're taught and we learn that we should back off when we feel pain, right? We should back off. Don't do that. Don't push there. It hurts. Yeah. So you push it gently, but with awareness and you know, tenderness with it until it releases. And then you find that you have so much more space and everything seems to function so much better too. But really, because your mind is focused on sensation for this period of time, that's the healing. Your mind focused on sensation rather than the monkey thoughts that are always running through it. I mean, geez, what a great use of time. And then there's the apparent physical benefits and the apparent aesthetic. Okay, aesthetic. And also feeling of fluidity, feeling of lightness, satisfaction. You know, it's funny, you don't have a choice in whether you do this or not. You don't even have a choice in it. What we seem to do is always the effect of our thinking. So if you think you got a lot of things to do, that's your reality, but that doesn't make it true. That doesn't make it the truth. I'm trying to let you guys see me. Okay, a couple more breaths. And come on up with an exhale. Yay. Oh, that felt fabulous. Okay, so now if I want to do some more, that's as much as I'm going to do for right now. I'm just going to show you guys a couple of areas where you could put it if you want to keep on going, okay? You can go down the leg like this, come down the side so you can see.
You go down the leg like this, the next part. See, I was right here. Now I'm going to go down to here and then start working right here. And you can do that all the way down the leg. You can also, in the same way, go like this. And you can do this going all the way down the leg. You can even continue on to the calves like this. And it's amazing. It's amazing how much pain is in there and how much gets released, and how much release you get from it. And I'll tell you, I'm going to get you guys into some calves if you want to keep on watching my videos. I'm going to get you guys into some calf stuff so you can see how it releases everything. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I just like to take a little break right at the end and let everything settle. Let everything settle. Notice your breath. Notice if you're breathing to the belly. The more you notice where your breath is going, the more it relaxes, and a relaxed breath is a belly breath. So you don't need to try to force it, just notice it. Notice how you're feeling. When your mind wanders, just keep on bringing it back to noticing how you're feeling. Notice where your tongue is right now. Is it right on the roof of the mouth? Or is it doing something else? Notice your throat. Is it constricted? Notice your ribs. How do they feel? How does your belly feel after that belly position? Notice your pelvis. The alignment like that. And your knees, that's going to affect everything. It's amazing. Because the release is mental, it goes across everything. And you know, as far as fascia goes, when you just release in one area, it releases all of the fascia. Okay. So when you're over here doing a booty lifting class, like this one is, maybe that's the title I'll give it. You're affecting the fascia everywhere. But more importantly, because there is no fascia, there is no body, you're affecting your mind with your demonstration that all is well and it's okay to relax that tension. Feel free to lay here as long as you want. You take as long as you want. Once you're ready, put one or two arms up, whatever suits you, and then roll over to one side and just lay on your arm for a second. Take a couple of those belly breaths when you breathe in the belly. Feels so relaxing. It's funny demonstrating this for you and telling you what to do because I get kind of spaced out, as you can imagine. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love you. Check out my links that I post so you can see where to get on, and I'll send you to the website where you probably would like to purchase the starter program. Maybe get 2 blocks. I get this one. That's the block
called the Block Buddy. And then I also have the Block Baby. I do different stuff with the Block Baby. I do different stuff with the face and the jaw and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you guys some of that too. It's just amazing. I'm really excited to show more. Thank you so much for watching. Mahalo, aloha, ahui ho.